I didn't have the normal labor like most women, where your water breaks and then you go to the hospital, or the labor pains start and then you go to the hospital. Mine was a little bit different, and today I want to share my experience with you. I want to share my labor and birth story. My name is Linda Mary, and welcome to this video. Let me start with when I was about to deliver. I worked up to, when you are given a due date is around 40 weeks. So I worked up to, I think, 2 weeks to my delivery date. Actually, it's my employer at the time who told me, who forced me to go and leave. It was like, you can give birth at any time, so you need to just take a leave. And I was like, I wanted to work up to the last minute so that I would have a prolonged maternity leave. In Kenya, we have a 3 months maternity leave. Let me say you stop working a month to your due date. Now you only have 2 months left. It's a little bit. Yeah, so I wanted to work until the last minute. But my boss, because he was also concerned about me, he was like, no, you gotta take that leave now. So I did. I took that leave. I stayed at home. The 2 weeks passed. No labor pains. I remember there was one day I was like, this child has to come. I started walking. I walked quite a distance. I walked to and fro. A distance of right now is about 30 shillings in Kenya. It's not much, but a distance of 30 shillings within the estate is quite far. So I walked, and then I walked back home. I was like, today's the day. This child is coming out. I am tired. So, because when you are about to deliver during those last few months, you don't know what sleep is. Sleep is uncomfortable. You're told to lie on your side. You try to lie like this or like this. You're told that is not good for the baby. And it's just like, you're just like, I'm done. Let this baby get here so we can move to the next stage. Where I went for clinic for the 9 months is different from where I actually gave birth. Where I gave birth, I chose that hospital because it was good and NHIF covered the entire bill. Whether normal delivery or CS, you will just pay for things like the medication you are written, or if you take any extra tests, things like that. So that's why I preferred there. So I actually went to the hospital because I saw it online, and then it was quite far from my place. Not that far, but it was quite far. A place where a cab can charge you between 1,500 and 2K. That's quite a distance. So I went there. I looked around. I wanted to see how the facility looked like. I wanted to see if it was clean. Me with my perfectionism, I wanted to see how they talk. Those nurses. I told them to take me to the maternity ward. I was like, I want to see if I'm giving birth here. I want to see where I'm giving birth. And that is the time that I also got my NHIF card. I went with it physical and was like, this is my NHIF card. So if I were to give birth today, is everything in order? Guys, if you're a first-time mom, it's important to do these things. You might find yourself in hospital, no one wants to attend to you before you cough out. I don't know how much you didn't know. No. So I asked them, they told me, do this and this, and then it will be in order. I did that. They were like, yeah, it's okay. So I asked to see their labor ward. I saw the labor ward. And I remember I even asked the nurses, I was like, are you guys kind to women who are giving birth? Or are you the kind of nurses that when someone is already in labor, in intense pain, you're also the ones who are going to abuse them and talk badly to them? May I ask them? Of course, they can't tell you that they do that, but I was like, I just want to ask them and see how they respond. And they're like, no, they don't do that. They treat their patients so well. So I did that, came back home, expected the baby to be a little bit active and be like, no, I'm getting out. Nothing happened. So my due date came and passed, the one that was written on my maternity book. And I was a first-time mom. So right now I know that sometimes you can go past your due date by even 2 weeks and whatever. But then I was like, no, it has passed. So what next? So I called the hospital where I was supposed to give birth. They gave me 1 more week. They were like, if by this date you've not experienced labor or given birth, you come and then we induce you. After that, 1 week was up. No labor pain still. So I called them and they were like, yeah, you come in and we'll induce you. So me, I was just like, okay. So I was at home. I was with my bestie at home. She had come to stay with me, but I was like, you know what, since I'm not in labor and I'm even just going to use public transport, let me just go on my own. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Don't ever do that. If you're going to give birth, don't ever do that. Even if you're not in labor, you need someone there at least when the pain starts. So now I was just like, I'm just going. I'll keep you updated, guys. Adios. took my bag. Now I had already packed, like I think a month before. I already have my maternity bag so that if labor pains come, grab the bag, which had wipes, baby clothes, sijui shawl, sijui my hospital book, all those things that you put in that packing bag, the hospital packing bag. So I grabbed it, went there. It was in the afternoon. So after I got there, they were like, yeah, we want to first check some things before we induce you. Me, I was green. I didn't know anything. The people, I have taken people to hospital to give birth. So maybe they were in labor already by the time I was taking them, and I stayed with them and I saw the whole process. So I didn't know that one was going to be different. So they said the first thing they're going to do is to do a scan, you know? So I paid for the scan. Yeah, I told you anything extra you have to pay. So I paid for the scan. They did the scan and told me the baby is ready to come out so we can induce you. But your fluid, I think the amniotic fluid had leaked. I had little fluid left. I didn't feel it coming out. I don't know at what point it was leaking, but they told me you have little amniotic fluid remaining, so the baby is not fully covered. So that means the baby is exposed to, I don't know, is it infections? The baby is just not 100% safe. So that's what they told me. So they're like, for even that reason, we are glad you came because now we have to induce you. And then they're like, there's one more test that we have to do. And I was like, okay. So these other tests, kumbe was a physical test. I didn't know. So I just went, they told me to lie down there. When before the labor pains kicking and before you're in labor, you're normally shy. You're just like, oh my God, this person to say me. So I just laid there. And then a male doctor came and he had nurses there. I think they were student nurses. I don't know if he was teaching them because he was talking to them. And now this is how you can tell, identify a woman who is ready to give birth. So as I laid there, he inserted his hand, not fingers, hand. And this can be TMI, but I had not been intimate the entire duration of my pregnancy. It had been 9 months without anything passing down there. And then an entire man's hand, big hand. I just felt something like, I was like, what is that? I think he touched the baby's head with his hands. Okay, up to now I don't understand what that was, but that is what I felt because I couldn't see. So I was like I felt his hands inside me. I don't know what that is. Oh, nurses, maybe you people know. So and then he told the nurses that now this mama is now ready to give birth. Like this is the person who is just ripe for giving birth. I was like, but the pain that I felt, I was like, if this is not labor, how does labor feel like? At that point, I started freaking out. So after those 2 tests, the doctors were ready to induce me. So they gave me a tablet, like a small tablet, and told me to put it under my tongue so it can dissolve. I did that. And then I just waited, updated my people, I've been given this drug, so I'm just waiting for it to take effect. So as I was laying there on the maternity bed, those people were friendly. I've never met such friendly people. From the people who are cleaning, everyone who is passing by, even the nurses, they're just like, hi sweetheart, not yet, you're not yet in labor, don't worry, it will come. Even the people who are cleaning, the people who are bringing you food, they're like, hi dear, don't worry, everything will be all right. I was like, wow, such a nice place. So I just waited. No evening, nighttime, no labor pains. I slept, woke up the next day, no labor pains. Even the people who were coming to clean, they're like, not yet, mom, not yet, sweetheart. I don't worry, it will happen. I'm like, yeah, not yet. What do I do? So, even my relatives at this point, there's one cousin of mine who called me and they're like, Linda, not yet. I'm like, no, not yet. The doctors came again. No labor, no labor. So they decided to add me another tablet. Second dose, double dose. I was given another one. Again, placed it under my tongue. I was just waiting. Goes to midday, it go to 1, no labor pains, 2, no labor pains. At this time, my cousin, a close cousin of mine, called me and she was like, if you do not give birth today, we are now taking you to Kenyatta. And I had Kenyatta, I don't know why I freaked out. I thought it was like, this is not a big deal. Like, when it's something wrong, like I'm now being taken to Kenyatta. Kenyatta is like for serious things. That's what I had in my mind. So when it reached 3 p.m., the labor started. I was just walking around. I started feeling a little bit of pain. I was like, okay, that's the labor pain. Yeah, that's it. And since I have seen people give birth, I have taken people to the hospital, my friends, seen them give birth, I knew labor pains will come and go. That's how these things work. Contractions, they come, they go, they come, they go. And then the more you are dilated, the more the contractions get more painful. Now they stop, they come at small intervals. Like maybe if they were coming and then disappearing after 30 minutes, then they'll come and then disappear after 15 minutes, and then they'll come and disappear after 10, 5, like that, until you get to that point where it's just constant. Now you're about to deliver. Mine didn't happen like that. From the time these labor pains came to the time I delivered, they didn't leave. They didn't give me 1 minute to breathe. They're like coming. They were just their constant. They're just increasing in intensity, but not even disappearing. So I was walking, and then I don't know what happened. I was just walking, and then all of a sudden I just threw up on the floor. I was like, bro, I was like, what? What is this? Like, at that point, the nurses came and they told me they wanted to start seeing how far I had dilated. That finger thing that all women who've given birth hate, where they insert their fingers and they see how far you've dilated or how close you are to giving birth, that sort of thing. So they came, and then I was laying on the table. So there were two. The first nurse stuck her fingers in, and she was like, oh, she's dilated 2 centimeters. I was like, 2? At this point, I was feeling like real pain. I was like, 2? Only 2? And I'm in such pain. The other one also inserted his hands. It was a male. And then he was like, no, she's not 2, she's 4. Now they started saying, no, I just tested her seconds ago. She's 2 centimeters dilated. No, she's 4. We have to be on the same page. You can't say 2 and I can't say 4. So let me go back in and test again. So she also went back in and tested again. And then she was like, yeah, she's 4. She's moving so fast. So I asked them, what's going on? And then they were like, it's because you have 2 doses. We gave you 2 doses. So they're now working like extra fast. So your labor is going to be condensed. Instead of you having 10 hours of normal labor, you're going to have 5 hours of intense labor. Yes, that finger thing was painful. I cannot undermine that. But the first one, the hand, nothing could compare to that. So I was like, okay, this is painful, but at least manageable. Not like that one. So they decided to move me now from the maternity ward to labor ward, delivery room. Yeah, so they can keep a close eye on me. So they transferred my things. I was just there in this nice room. Had this a switch there where if I need something, I can just switch, and my things were there. Now the labor pain started being more painful. At that point, I'm remembering all these things that we are normally told. Don't shout. You're going to get so exhausted by the time you're supposed to push. So just keep calm. I am trying, but at this point, I'm like, what kind of pain is this? You are crying, but tears are not coming out. Like you're just crying, like, you're like, what the hell? So what I will do, I'll just keep quiet, and then when it gets too much, I'll just like, I was snapping like, and then when it gets inside, I'm like, I just hit the wall like, and I'm like, Jesus, Mom. I keep quiet again, and I said, Jesus, Mom. Bam! Hit the wall. So it was just Jesus and my mom. Jesus and my mother. We got to, I don't know, 6 centimeters dilated. At that point, I could not. They're telling people to walk around. I was trying to walk around, but I got fed up of the walking around, so I would just pace in my room. So I opened the door to the shower. I had like the shower in my delivery room. So I would just walk and then get into the shower. At that point, let me tell you, before I go to the shower, I had decided I didn't want clothes. Those clothes, those maternity gowns, I was like, I don't want them. I just started removing them. The nurses were like, Linda, you don't want clothes? I was like, I don't want those clothes. So, Taki zongo, sisi Taki. And then, I don't know what happened. I think it's just temporary insanity. The pain makes you go crazy. And then the hospital was located near the road. So, people were passing by. There are some shops there and some men doing some work there. So they just closed the blinds and then left me there naked. Not one coming at first, like, oh my God, Percy. At this point, I'm like, I do not care. At this point, I am in pain. I don't care who sees me, who walks into the room. I don't care. I think at some point I wanted to bang my phone there, and then the nurses were like, oh, Linda, let us keep this phone for you. But during that time, they were so nice. So just like, sweetheart, don't worry. This is what it means to be a mom. This is what you go through to become a mother. Those nurses were so nice. So at that point, I was naked. So I would just walk into the shower, stand under the shower, let the water splash on me, then come back, then go, then come back. And then I don't know why, for some reason, I liked this position of sitting like this. I felt better when I was like this. The nurses came and found me. They're like, Linda, stop doing that. You're going to make the contractions go back. Like the baby is now going like, I don't know how to explain. Like now you're dilated, it says 6 centimeters. Now you're going back to 5. I was like, no, no. And then my labor pains were those ones that came here. No, most people, when they have labor pains, they feel pain here on the back. So when you rub their back, they feel better. Mine came here, below my belly. And the nurses told me, do not touch that area, because when you rub again, you're going to slow down the process and interfere with it. So there was nothing that could be done to me. So I was just there. And I was alone. Guys, please don't go alone. If I have not stressed this, I was alone at that point. So I tried. I would walk. I would come back, call my mom, call Jesus, slap the wall, lie down again, sit down, try to do everything. I was so tired. When you go to 7 centimeters, when I was dilated 7 centimeters, I told them, I'm tired. I am tired. I am tired. And I think they panicked. They were like, no, you can't get tired because you've not even pushed. You are so close and you need the energy to push, so you can't get tired now. I'm like, I'm tired. So they brought the drip water, put some energy things inside the water. I don't know what it is. So they just hooked it on my arm, and then I was laying there. And then I think when I reached around 8 centimeters dilated, my cousin came, a close cousin of mine. She came to see him. She came from work. At that point, it was 7 p.m. This labor started at 3 p.m. And as I told you, they had not stopped for a minute. Do you know constant pain for hours? At some point, I rang that bell, that emergency bell. The nurses came running. I was like, give me something, just medicine to make this labor go away for 1 minute, just 1 minute, and then I can breathe. And then you bring them back, just one minute. They were like, no, we can't do that. There's nothing that we can do at this point. You just have to go through with it, the entire labor. I was like, what is going on? I was so tired. At that point, I made so many decisions. I said, I'm not going through this again in Jesus' name. And next time I'm going through this, I'm not giving birth again. I'm not doing this. I was mad. I was angry. I don't know what to do. So my cousin came, so she tried to help me out by rubbing my back. It's not working because there's nothing happening in my back. The pain is here. She just sat there with me. I don't know what I was doing, but I was just in my normal labor pains, feeling the pain. And then, because I'd asked the nurse, I'm someone who works with statistics. I work with facts. So when the labor pain started, I asked the nurse, how long will this take? And she said, judging by how fast you're moving, approximately 5 hours. So I said, it was 3 p.m. when it started. So I was like, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I was telling myself, Linda, you only have to withstand this pain for 5 hours. Only 5 hours. And there was a clock there. So I was looking at it. I was like, when it reached 4 p.m., I was like, only 4 hours to go. Only 4 hours, Linda. You can do it. When it reached 5 p.m., I was like, only 3 hours. Only 3. I really, really believed what the nurse told me. And I just stuck on it. I was like, only 3 hours to go. When it goes to 6, I was like, only 2 hours, Linda. You can do this. Got to 7, I was like, 1 more hour, just one. Linda, you can do this. So it was just, Jesus, Mom, 1 hour, just 1 more hour to go. It was 7:30, 7:40 p.m. there, I think, when now I was ready to give birth. I had fully dilated. And I remember I'd asked God, please, I'm praying for 2 things. Please, number 1, please let me give birth normally. I don't want to go to CS. That was before I actually experienced the pain and decided that the next time, if I happen to give birth, I am going through CS. And number two was like, please, please let my baby be healthy. Those two things. So it was time for me to give birth. So I was told to sit on the delivery table now. So the nurses came. No, I don't know how many there were. I can't remember. I just remember the main nurse. She was such a lovely woman. Actually, it was her time to go. I didn't even know. Her shift had ended, but she said she couldn't leave me like halfway. She said here she had to deliver my baby before she left. That mama, I saw her again when I took my friend there to give birth, and she couldn't remember, but I was like, you were so nice to me, and you helped deliver my baby. Thank you. So I got on the delivery table. They were like, you sit like this. You're now ready to give birth. So the people are there, everyone, the nurses, blah, blah. And I decided, even before I went into labor, I had decided I am not going to see anything, any of those things that are going to come out of me. I will. Guys, I'm someone who gets affected by things a lot. If I see something, we may see something together, watch a video together, you go about your activities. Me 2 weeks later, I'm still having those images in my head. So I decided I'm not going to be seeing those placentas. I'm not seeing anything. Linda Mary. I was like this. And the nurses were there. So they're like, we'll tell you when to push. Because apparently you can't just push. I don't know when the contractions, I don't know, do what, or may become intense, I don't know. So they were monitoring me, and then they were like, now Linda, push! And I started pushing. You're pushing like you're pooping. Like, and she stopped. I thought that's how we push and then the baby comes out. No, you wait again. You're still in pain, by the way. Now push again. No, baby, again. Wait. Now push again. I thought I was acting those Nigerian movies where they're like, push! So Lina, push! I had the baby crying. So apparently even my baby had not come out yet fully. Her head just came out and even the nurses were laughing. She's not come out fully, so they just like removed her. But now, do you know when you're giving birth, normally you can get a tear, especially if you're a first time mom. They told me if you're a first time mom, you have to, most of the time you're going to get a tear, or you may not get a tear. So I got a tear. There are times when the nurses decide to just cut your opening, so to give more room for the baby. And there are times when the baby just rips you like, whoo. So I felt my body rip. I can't explain it. Like, how can your body rip? Your body just ripped. And the baby came out. Her head was out. They pulled her out. I was just lying there. At that point, the clock was just here. So she just came out and I looked up and I saw 7:50 p.m. And I remember the first thing I said was, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, the pain has stopped. Like, thank you, Jesus. And then they showed me the baby. And that's my fun. They normally just show you the parts so you can see if it's a boy or girl. Because at that point, you also you're like, okay, let me see the baby. And then since my cousin was still around, I told them, you give my sister the baby to hold for me. Okay? Because I couldn't get up. As I was laying there and they were still doing their things, let me tell you guys, labor pain is weird in this way. You are in excruciating pain, like so the baby comes out and then it stops suddenly. You're like, where's the pain? Yet it stops abruptly, just like that, not like gradually. But now there are other kinds of pain also that comes when they're trying to squeeze your stomach so they can remove all that bad blood, so that the placenta can come out, so that there are things that need to come out. So they were just doing that process. For me, they were still doing that process and it was a little bit painful. And then they started putting gauze? Gauze or cotton wool? Cotton wool, I think, wrapped in gauze, and then pressing and trying to putting it inside, bring it out so it can absorb the blood, getting it out, putting more gauze, getting it out. Then I realized they did it for quite a long time. I was like, what's going on? And then one of the nurses sent their colleague to call the doctor. They're like, you go tell the doctor she's bleeding and we don't know where she's bleeding from. But I know at this point they have not told me anything. And me, I don't even know how I didn't freak out. So they just went and called the doctor. So the doctor came and they told the doctor she's either bleeding from her cervix or her uterus, but we don't know where it is. I think that's why they were trying to absorb the blood, put the gauze so that they can absorb the blood and see where the blood is coming from. The doctors just stood there, told them you to do what, do this, this. At this point, I'm still like this. So I don't know what's going on down there. I'm just hearing and feeling. So they're like, do this, do this, do this. And then, okay, up to this point, I don't know where I was bleeding from. And then suddenly the bleeding stopped. Now, after it stopped, they put these, what is it called? Is it catheter? I don't know. That thing that, so that if I need blood, because they said I lost a lot of blood, if I need blood, then they'll just like add me more blood. So after that, they cleaned me up. Because of this head nurse, she was like, she told me that I've stitched you so well. Someone will not even know that you've given birth. I gave her to Mama was nice. So and then that's when she told me that actually my shift ended a long time ago, but I just wanted to deliver your baby first. So I'm leaving. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. So they left me on the table, on the delivery table. They just covered me with bed sheets because I was feeling cold. And they told me not to get up because I'd lost a lot of blood and I was likely to faint. So they just left me there with that thing for in case I needed blood transfusion, and then they covered me there for, I don't know. I don't remember whether it was 30 minutes or 1 hour. And then from there, I got up. They told me it's okay to get up. I got up. I went back to the maternity room, and then I laid there for some time. After I was with my baby, I was also catching up with my kuzo, and then from there I went and bathed. But still, when I was working, I was just like shaking. I was like, I feel like I was feeling dizzy. I don't know. So I came back, and my kuzo also left. I also just updated my people, and I'd be like, guys, I've had the baby. It's a girl. So from there, the recovery started, which is a whole nother story. I didn't have breast milk. We'll go into that, the postpartum depression. Maybe we'll discuss that another day, but not today. Today, I just want to share my labor and delivery story. And yeah, I hope you've learned a thing or two from it. If you found this video valuable or educating or entertaining, I don't know, let's just hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video.